Well, hello.
Yeah. Hello, hello. How you been, Reza?
I've been good. I've been
Sweet.
good. It's been a long time getting this started, but
Indeed. It's quite
now we're here.
quite a lot of finicky stuff getting it set up. A lot more than I expected, certainly. Uh,
Definitely. We
uh,
just I just thought it would be a plug and play kind of off the hip kind of thing,
yeah.
but it seems like it was a bit of a long run
Yeah.
to get to it. But we're here. This is
Yeah.
the Freja MMA podcast,
Yeah. Feels great. Feels great.
episode one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the pilot. What sounds better, episode one or the pilot?
I suppose this would be episode one because the pilot's been up in the air for a while.
True, true. But for our eyes only.
Yeah.
That will
Yeah,
that
for sure.
maybe on the 100th episode or something, we'll put a deleted scenes together and because we can see the editing fails that we've been through.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So
So we're gonna.
so so yeah, Frey MMA. We're a pretty new news source from Sweden. We do most of our stuff in English because we've seen that a lot of news and MMA media coverage in Sweden is in Swedish, or in Scandinavia is in their respective languages. So we thought, let's mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
And um, yeah,
Yeah,
this
just a
is
just a little new perspective from the north, but in English. So that's hopefully we'll be able to keep it fresh. For yeah,
yeah, and yeah. So I'm Rez, and I've been watching MMA for about 15 years. Long time. Not really been that much of a practitioner, but more of a I could still probably call myself a student because I do analyze all of the things that I kind of see. Um, yeah, and then moved to Sweden and started for MMA with my lovely wife, which isn't Joanne, by the way. Joanne is another addition to
shucks.
Joanne is another addition to the team. Um, and then since we started it, we've um, really opened our eyes to some new ways of watching MMA, shall I say. I mean, I never really knew about the amateur divisions in Sweden and the MMA league here in Sweden, and also the world championships. And I feel like that's something that everyone should really know about. That every year there's a European amateur MMA championships and world championships. So hopefully our podcast can bring light to these things that I feel like maybe aren't being spoke about enough.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So, Joanne, now you can talk about your direct shoot into the world of MMA.
yeah. So I've been shot into this world fairly recently. So I'm more of a pair of fresh eyes, pair of fresh everything basically as far as MMA goes. It's been super interesting. I've been to a amateur event and one pro event so far, and it's been really cool to see how the organizations work in different situations. That's been rather fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more in the future, for sure.
Yeah, no, I feel like you're a great person to do this podcast with because um, both a fresh set of eyes and a fresh mind on the scenarios that we're going through in today's MMA world can give a good perspective on how the media can pick up certain subjects,
Yeah,
and also yeah, you're an interesting guy. You
yeah,
have interesting views. So thanks for doing this with me.
yeah. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Ben, for bringing me on and giving me the chance to have some fun.
Yep,
Yeah,
definitely. That's all we're doing.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we're not getting paid for this. We're just having fun.
yeah. So shall we go to talk about the Superior Challenge?
Yes. So this was your first pro event, right?
Yes,
That
that's
you've been
that's
to,
correct. That's
and
correct.
and what an event it was. I mean, would you like to talk about what you would say is really stuck out for you as your first pro MMA event?
Yeah, it was definitely compared to the amateur event. It was just a massive production value, and the quality of the fighters was on a completely different scale. You could watch every single person that stepped into the ring and feel like, okay, that this guy is, or this girl is a fighter. Like there was no questions about it. While in the amateur league, it was like, should this guy really be here? And then they proved that they probably shouldn't. So that was quite refreshing to feel secure that they know what they're getting themselves into. Yes.
Yeah, because what a lot of people might not know is that here in Sweden, you can't just go straight into pro MMA like you can in America or in other countries. You need to have some amateur bouts under your name already. So there's not going to be any people that are doubting themselves so much stepping into a professional MMA event. So I think that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
Because you really do get go through the training and the trial and error of the amateurs, so that you really do see the confidence of these pro fighters.
Yeah.
And then we really did see the confidence of Elin Öberg,
Yeah.
who really did put on a great pro debut with a 6-second knockout of Anna Asfix.
Yes. Indeed,
that was crazy.
That's the top right picture we got on stream, and I was not expecting it, but then again, I don't think anyone was expecting that, because that was the first contact was last needed contact. But
yeah, and it was pretty early on in the card. But I feel like after that, everyone really did get warmed up and ready for the rest of the evening of great action as well.
Yeah.
So Elin Öberg, she is also the girlfriend of Oliver Enkamp, and they have a bit of a Instagram, like a social media account together, which is called the Knockout Couple, which I think is now such a fitting name for these two.
Yeah.
Oliver Enkamp is a former UFC fighter who has been released recently from UFC, but I think he's talking with some other MMA companies and promotions at the moment, but no news just yet. There was also the Superior Challenge welterweight title that was being defended at the event. David Bilkeden defeated Marcin Bandel to retain his title. That was also quite a scrappy.
Yeah, that was a proper slugfest. That was those guys really wanted it, both of them. I still think the right man won, even though some people might disagree. But yeah, it was he fought better in my opinion as well. At least.
You did remind me earlier today about the because obviously you are a fresh set of eyes to these things, about one of the contests that was actually stopped by a verbal tap out.
Yes.
So what happened was, I think it was Rostam Akman that got his opponent in a heel hook.
Yes.
And his opponent didn't tap, but he did scream out in some yeah. So the ref stopped it, because obviously if you're starting to shout out in pain, then something could seriously be wrong.
Yeah, sometimes the mind is stronger than the body, and that is one of the cases, I suppose, where you have a safety measure in place for it to still maintain a sportly endeavor. Like, if you could snap someone's arm off just because, well, I'm not feeling any pain, it would be kind of weird. So I feel it's a good thing that any indication is an indication of something gone wrong.
Yeah, I have also seen referees stop fights from them actually visually seeing a break, but obviously the adrenaline is, the fighter is not feeling the pain. But there are also cases of people being pretty double jointed. If anyone can think of the case of Dan Hardy, for example, against Georges St. Pierre. He was in an arm bar for a very long time, and I think the whole arena that night was saying that he should probably tap, but the pretty double jointed and pretty bendy on the elbows, and kept out until the bell rang at the end of the round. So
yeah, it's giving me a freaky picture. Someone laying with a bent arm for 1.5 minutes.
No, but it's the kind of thing of the referee has a massive job to do.
Yeah,
he can literally stop people from having work.
Yeah.
So I think it was the right call anyway.
Yeah,
From
obviously the guy who verbally tapped out was not happy with the decision, and he felt that he hadn't tapped. So that should be mentioned as well. That was the actual play out of the decision, was a very, very upset fighter.
Yeah, but how many times have we seen people getting knocked out and then quickly get back onto their feet just through instinct, and then
the pain is gone. I'm fine.
Yeah. I'm back. I'm rebooted now.
Yeah.
But Superior Challenge. It was a great event, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yep, for sure. So let's skip into the future a little bit and talk about the upcoming Fight Club Rush in Västerås.
Yes, so this one's a bit more closer to home. This one is in our hometown of Västerås, Sweden.
Indeed.
Fight Club Rush is a promotion that is being made up by our local MMA gym here called Västerås Fight Club, hence the name Fight Club Rush. So they have a really great team of guys down there, and now they've started releasing some names for the fights coming up. Tobias, Harila, who is should I say the pride of Västerås Fight Club. He is the golden boy at the moment, and he's recently won a championship in Wales recently, and he's really trying to get as much fights as he can this year. So, as far as I've heard, last time he fought in a span of 8 days, twice, and won them both.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's just a crazy amount of fights, considering, like, from what I can tell, like, people normally go months, but so 8 days for me would be like, what?
Yeah, I mean, in the UFC, which is the prime time, it's the Super Bowl, the NFL, like the big leagues. The fighters there, I would say, usually fight 2 to 3 times a year. So for Tobias to fight 2 times in a span of 8 days is just incredible.
Yeah.
And Lucas Norio, he also fought in Superior Challenge as well, which was when was it? Last month? Yeah, it must have been last month now, so November. He lost to a rear naked choke, I think it was, by Bartosz Wojcik. Sorry if I'm getting anyone's name wrong here, but we don't have the easiest names all the time.
Yeah.
So that fight is going to be really good. It will all be happening January 27th, and today they actually released one more fight, which I guess we have the exclusive of talking about. So this is Ole Magnor versus Andreas Bane Gustafsson. I'm not sure if it's Bane or Bane, but
they have the similar meaning both in English and Swedish. So
okay.
So it's basically the same word, but with a translation.
Yeah. So I recently saw Gustafsson fight on the Cage Warriors Academy show in Denmark, and he is very grappling strong. He takes the tempo of the fight almost and keeps stuff at his pace. Very strong fighter. So this one should also be a great show. It will also be Gustafsson's pro debut. So look out for that January 27th.
Yeah.
And I think on the January 26th there'll be an amateur show as well, also run by Fight Club Rush.
Yeah, we'll try to be at both, because it's so close by. There's no reason not to be there when the interest is there.
Yeah, unless something comes up and one of us is out of the country, but
Yeah.
we'll definitely give you the news and the updates from it.
Yes.
For sure.
And then we got another event coming up in our neighboring country of Copenhagen. Or well, Denmark, but the event is in Copenhagen.
Yes, so this is Cage Warriors 103. Cage Warriors recently had their 100th event in Cardiff, I think it was.
Ooh.
And yeah, this is their return to Copenhagen, which is, what can I say about the MMA and the Scandinavians? They really, really turn up for it and love their local guys. So no fights made just yet, but a few names on the card, as you could see on the previous poster. Nicolas Dalby, Mark O.Madsen, and Mads Burnell. Mark O.Madsen is also a former Olympic wrestler who is quite a fan favorite there.
Oh, I didn't know that he had such a, what would you say, strong background. But then again, that's quite cool to know. Thanks, Rez.
Yeah, and not yet any news about Soren Bak, who is the Danish lightweight Cage Warriors champion, but we're getting in talks with him and seeing if he'll give us some sort of exclusive, if he'll be on the card, if he will be in attendance. I think the top contender for his title at the moment is Jack Grant, who has been really, really wiping out the division there in Cage Warriors, but he is fighting in February in Liverpool at Cage Warriors 101, which I guess will be the next event.
Okay, so he's skipping out the 103 to rest up, sort of.
Maybe, or it might even be to the point of Soren Beck going and fighting in Liverpool.
Yeah, because that might be true, because it's 9th of March. It feels so close. I'm so used to the perception of like, oh, you fight, you rest up for a while, but I mean, with Tenori like doing 2 in 8 days, it's sort of smashed my worldview of how long one should rest between fights, like if it's possible, just to get away with it.
It could also be a company decision of which arena will be biggest to have a title fight in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we'll see if any news comes out there.
Yep.
And then we have a huge event coming up, a bit closer now.
Yeah.
And here it is. So I think the majority of Swedish fans is definitely going to be watching this one.
Yeah, I'm super psyched for this one.
Yeah. Oh. So it will be what some people will call the best fighter of all time, especially at light heavyweight, John Jones, versus, shall we say, the pride of Sweden, Alexander the Mauler Gustafsson.
Yes, I'd say that he's been representing Sweden in a fairly big way as far as MMA goes. So I'd say that's not an overstatement.
Yep, and this will be the second time that they fight. The first time that they fought, that really was one of the most amazing light heavyweight title fights I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Jones got that one on a decision. A lot of people are saying was quite a controversial decision. But hey, the scorecards don't lie, do they? When it comes down to it,
they do not. But I mean, I understand why Swedish people who would put a slight favor to him would be able to argue that maybe they should have judged it differently. But you gotta accept results, and Gustafsson definitely did, and he's definitely going in to try to change that.
I mean, Gustafsson done to Jones what nobody else has done. He actually gave John Jones the fight that John Jones has said that he's been looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the first guy to take him down. He's the first guy to maybe to even make John Jones lose a round.
That's very possible.
It could be possible. Also on that card is a super fight of sorts with Cyborg versus Nunes. Ili Latifi is also going to be fighting on the card, another Swedish name. This card is stacked. I would say that everyone needs to tune into this. Do you have the scorecards for the last fight?
Yes,
Let's take a look at that.
So
these are the official scorecards, yeah.
Yeah. So the way I understand it, the rounds are counted on the left side, and then you got the two fighters, and then it just stacks up how the judges decided. So every little square is one judge each, and yeah, like in total he got five decision, but Jones got like, what is that, 10? So
yeah, the last judge is that Chris Lee is what I'm a bit, you know, did Jones win 4 rounds in that fight? I'm not sure, but it's the kind of fight that every time I watch it, I judge it differently.
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah.
It's just one of those. It'll be great to maybe one day get a professional in here, teach us a bit about how they score fights. And
definitely, because I have no clue. I understand what the numbers mean, but I don't understand why it's a 9 and a 10. Why isn't it an 8? Are the rounds really that close? Like every time it's that close.
I think at that time it was the winner of the round gets 10 and the loser of the round gets 9 or less.
Yeah.
And you'll need to do something very
okay. So
you need to be laying there and taking punches and not giving 1 to get an 8.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen less than an 8 in an MMA round.
Okay. So you that's that explained for me. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, I would love to get someone from either the Swedish MMA Federation or some sort of official MMA official to get in touch with us and really explain how to score MMA fights as fans. Even it would be something great to learn.
Yeah, and I want to know how the different angles works out when the judges are sitting around the octagon. What the standard angle are for the videos and such. So that makes it so preferable to, as in Sweden at least, using 3 judges. So that's an interesting thing to me. Like why 3? Why not 5 or 7? Is it redundant? Is it not? So yeah.
Yeah, we can also look at the differences between MMA judges, which obviously have a very a much harder set of skills that they need to put points onto compared to boxers, for example, who are just looking at punches. Because the referees in MMA, they must also be scoring the kicks, they must also be scoring the grappling and the ground control and things like that. So it'll be something that'll be really, really cool to look at and to learn about. So I think that will soon be it for our first episode. I would just like to thank everyone that has kind of watched to the end. It was a bit longer than we actually expected.
Yes,
but thank you for everyone to watching. And if you are an MMA fighter, if you have anything to do with MMA, and you want to get in contact with us, and you have an opinion, or even if you are selling some sort of product that is MMA based or sport based, or even study sports science, then get in touch with us. We want to pick your brain and see what we can learn and what we can do to grow this sport really, and to grow ourselves as fans.
Yeah. So you got our links and information down here scrolling past where you can contact us. And so yeah, that's all from us. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time, hopefully.
Thank you. Respect.
Bye.